Hi everyone, I'm Max. Welcome back to the channel. In this segment, I'm going to be running you through what's going into this Lotus for our client.
So we've obviously done many of these Emiras before, and the reason is because they sound pretty shocking. And today's video is going to be quite cool because we're going to actually be going into a lot more depth in terms of actually analysing the factory system. So a little bit later on, yourself and Luke will sit in the car and actually analyse that factory system. But firstly, we want to run through kind of spec of the system. Every single one of our systems that we do are designed to be fully reversible. And Max is kind of going to go through, I'm going to go through some of the products with you guys, and then Max will go through kind of how we're actually going to be able to install them into the vehicle. So let's start with the higher frequency range. So we're going to start off with the tweeters. These are the Horningsea Legend tweeter. And one thing that's probably quite surprising, if you haven't watched some of our other Emira videos, what you'll know is that there's actually a tweeter location that sits just on the bottom of the A-pillar. But what's funny about this Emira?
The Emira, the sound system doesn't actually come with tweeters.
Even though it's got a grille for it.
Yeah.
So this car and all of these first editions all come with the KEF sound system. Basically what that means is an upgraded, amplified system. They actually, I don't think, make a basic audio setup for the car, but they've got the grills there for the tweeters. However, there's nothing in there. So it's all a little bit of a lie. The setup on the KEF system is really odd, and the reason why we get so many of these cars is really because of that, because kind of everything, every element of it is kind of incorrect, locations of products and all sorts. So anyway, we've got a location for a tweeter, so the Horningsea Legend tweeter will be going into that location, basically bringing those frequencies higher up in the vehicle. Obviously, we need to mount that into a location, so possibly there's no bracketry behind there. So how are we going to get that Horningsea Legend tweeter into that?
Well, luckily we're fortunate enough to have 3D printers, so we can make 3D adapters,
Yep.
And then essentially bolt straight onto the factory location.
Exactly. So where a tweeter would have sat from factory, even though they've never had one in there, we'll be able to custom mount adapters to be able to sit into there. Again, still making it reversible, which is quite cool. So that will be dealing with the higher frequencies, and then this is probably the coolest part, and I believe still to this day, no one in the world has managed to do it. We get messages all over the world asking us to give the ideas of how we managed to do this, and we're not giving it away, guys. This is for our clients having our work done inside our workshop. So before you send that message, it's not happening. It has to be here. Car has to be here. We do offer full international transport, so wherever you are in the world, car can land here. We offer door-to-door service, white glove service to get that car from wherever you are in the world to our workshop. So if you're interested in that, head over to our international transport page and we can get that all arranged for you. But this system has a 3-inch KEF signature mid-range into that door. However, what we're going to be installing into that door is we're tasked with fitting this, which is the 6.5-inch mid-bass driver from Horningsea Legend range. So how on earth are you going to get that in the car?
Again, we can use those adapter plates that we make in-house. We design them all ourselves, so we'll be able to essentially fit that into factory location, and then it is reversible if they want to go back to the standard 3.5 inch.
Yeah. So we're going to be taking the car from a 3-inch mid-range, bear in mind in the same factory location, from a 3-inch all the way to a 6.5 inch to give so much more mid-bass into the front end of that car. This is one of the things, the KEF, and we've done lots of videos, I've done a sound off video on it, but this video is going to be quite interesting because you're going to be able to actually analyse, which we didn't do in the sound off video, where we actually analyse the factory system and then over to our EQ system that we're going to be putting in with the full system. But the 3-inch mid-range, to be able to go from a 3-inch to a 6.5-inch mid-bass, keeping the original beautiful KEF grille that's there, is a real challenge. It is not easy to do, and our team have done it many times before, and Max, you're going to be doing exactly the same. So challenge accepted.
Absolutely.
With the rear speakers, so the rear speakers are a coaxial design in the rear, or I can't remember if they're just a mid-bass driver, but we're going to be installing the brand new Lotus Emira 2 coaxial. So that means the tweeter is built into the mid-bass driver. That will allow for a pretty much a full range frequency, bar sub frequency, so all the way top to kind of round about sort of 80 odd hertz. We'll be playing through here, but we'll go through the setup at the end to go through kind of where these are all playing down to, where we've set them all up to. but that will be going into stock location. Then moving on to amplification. Obviously this car does have an amp in the car already. So on this car, where is the factory amp?
It's located behind the driver's seat in the quarter panel.
And that's actually where the factory sub is mounted as well. So we've got 2 amplifiers going into the system. We've got the Audison Ford's a 12 channel with a DSP. So it's a 12 channel of amplification, 14 channels of processing power. And then we've got the 1 channel to drive the designated sub. And this is where the challenge is going to be really, really hard, because we're going to be installing this sub, which is the shallow mounted Hertz 10-inch sub. And we're going to be dropping this down to 2 ohms because the amplification stage is 2 ohms stable. Obviously, this cannot sit into the stock location. So what's your plan to getting this into the car?
Essentially, we want to try to build a sub box between the driver's seat and passenger seat. Try to build some sort of box behind the seats so that you get the sub right behind you.
So this will be sat kind of relatively on display in the middle?
Yeah, on display in the middle.
Have you got an idea for how that's going to flow into the rest of the car?
Not 100% sure yet. We want to try to incorporate the space on each side. So try to save as much space as we can, because obviously you don't get a whole lot of space in these cars.
Yeah.
So we want to try to save some of that on each side.
Obviously, the big thing whenever we're building the box is obviously that it's done to the correct volume for the product, but also kind of blending into that OEM feel of the car. Obviously, with the beautiful color that it is, we're probably going to be changing over, adding in some yellow accents into the build to make it kind of a little bit special, to make it kind of just blend in with the car, maybe a Lotus emblem or something in there to just kind of set it off, kind of going the extra mile rather than just kind of mounting products into the vehicle. So this sub is going to absolutely rock in these cars, because we've done, obviously we've done lots of Emiras, and we've done like the, for people that need all of that space at the back pretty much, we've done like a shallow mounted under seat design, which actually sat on the back shelf area, which took up like literally no room, which was quite nice. However, could have done with a little bit more kick. Then you've also got options where we've done the 10-inch active sub, which sat and bolts down behind that panel, and they absolutely rock. They work really, really well. This is going to rock even harder, because we've got separate amplification. We've got a passive setup here for the amplification for the sub, so that is going to absolutely rock. Then we've got a couple of other things. We've got the DRC AC. So that is basically a controller that's going to have sub-level control. And when you've done the tuning, we're going to actually give the option to the client to have driver focus, passenger focus, central focus, however the client wants to do, and we'll communicate with that on the group chat. And then sound deadening. So what's your plan? So how many sheets have we got allocated for this job?
So I've got 45 sheets allocated for this job. We're going to try to focus in around the sub area and really inside the cabin, and try to keep as much as that noise sort of in the car.
Yeah, so the whole point of sound deadening is to keep audio inside the vehicle, reduce rattles, resonation, and build a better acoustic environment inside that vehicle to handle the resonance that you're gonna have with obviously stuff like going from a 3-inch to a 6.5-inch mid bass. But overall, we've got a really, really cool spec here, so we just wanted to run you through that. It's now time to go through, sit in the car, so you'll be joined by Luke and Max shortly now to actually go through and sit in the car, analyze the factory system, kind of run you through that, and then the install process, stripping down the car. Obviously, we've got our full list of everything that needs to go through, a very, very thorough process that we go through whenever you're working on any car, but to this level of gear, it needs to be done to an incredibly thorough level. But let's jump in the car now. Luke is going to join Max, and we're going to see how good or bad the factory system is.
Right, so I'm Luke, we are in the Emira. Now we've already had a very brief listen to it, and let's just say it's a bit, what should we call it? Pants? Yeah. We can't use stronger words, but yeah, it's not great at all for such a big brand like Kef, especially, well obviously this is their more home audio. It lacks a lot of clarity, and we will show you why in a second, because we've took some measurements using REW, and yeah, it's a bit lackluster, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's not great. Really not great. So,
so yeah, I will show you now. We've already took the measurements earlier, and I will just show you the overlay of this is all the speakers playing together. I say all. We've got 2 in the front, coaxials in the rear, I think it is, and then the sub in the back. And we'll also show you what our house curve, what we use for when we tune a car at the end of an install, what it would or should follow and we'll show you what this one does not follow. So this is the reading now. As you can see, looks already all over the place. So even if I smooth it out, I'd add a bit of just a third smoothing, you can still see that it is still all over the place, and there is a huge drop off around the 3K mark, and then it just keeps going, and then a tiny little spike at around 9, but that's not even worth talking about. So if I just load up the EQ here, now this is the blue line, so that is our target curve when we finish a install. Now Max, you can see how much that drops away there.
Oh, yeah.
And you can certainly hear it as well. So our aim is, once we've got everything installed, and installed banging by Maximilian here, we're going to get this final target curve, or the final response of the speaker, sorry, to follow this target curve pretty freaking decently. So yeah, this isn't very good at all. We'll 100% do a lot better, and I'm pretty sure the customer is going to be absolutely happy with this. Mm-hmm. Hold that.
You gotta put it on. Yeah. Okay, so using Otto's ears, we're gonna listen to a couple tracks and show you guys what it sounds like.
I've been looking for a place that I'd rather be. I've been searching for my own destiny. I raise my gun to the sky and scream out loud. This is my life, this is my hope, this is what I stand for. Now it's the time to the darkest night is always seen. Wait on and on, and we're face to face. I've heard about you, you know about me. Already enough not to lose the game. The darkest night is always seen. Wait on and on, and we're face to face. I've heard about you, you know about me. Already enough not to lose the game. No way, no way, no way, not to lose the game.
Love me, desirable, the typical, yeah, all I want is you. We are all the same, fame, attention, confirmation. Why do we care? What is it worth? What is it worth? We are all the same, we want to be loved, but that is not the same as being loved by you. We are all the same, we want to be loved, but that is not the same as when
No!
Absolutely not. I mean, first things first, there's a lot of clarity missing in this car. Secondly, I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it because I've got the sub right by my ear. There's a definitely rattle going on down here. You could hear it as well?
I can hear it from here, yeah.
And we haven't got that volume up loud, really.
It's below half.
Yeah, below half.
So.
And yeah, I can hear a nice, nasty little rattle down here. So obviously Max will sort that out. What did you think to it?
Yeah, I thought it was not really acceptable. I think, yeah, I'm just looking forward to just sort it out, really.
Yeah, looking forward to just getting going.
Yeah, getting going and just get it better.
Yeah,
for the client.
So,
yeah, not amazing. Definitely heard better.
We will, yeah, and we will definitely do a wicked job of this. So, Max, let's get stripping the car out.
Absolutely.
You've already done your inspections.
Yeah, inspection's done. Took the day yesterday to plan everything out.
Yeah, you've already done some planning.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can get this car stripped out, start getting it sound treated, and we can start moving forward and make this car sound as good as it looks.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So we're all done with the sound deadening, pretty much. We have the doors left to do, a couple panels, but we're at a point where we need to start with the sub box. So we've gone through a couple of ideas, proposed a couple to the client, and essentially what we've decided is to go with something like that, which essentially will follow the back of the armrest, head up this way, quite thin at the bottom, and then spread out to the corners here and reach just the bottom of the panel below the mirror, or the window. It's going to be in black Alcantara to match the center console with yellow stitching around the sides. We're going to try to incorporate a Lotus logo as well. The customer wanted to keep space on both sides, so we're really trying hard to keep the space but also reach the 14.2 liters of volume that the sub box needs to be. So we'll get measuring and get starting and see how we go.
So, as you can see, we've taken over from Max. He started off the sub build. He created this back plate and the bottom plate as he measured it out and did in the car. And then one night they just simply laid a bit of fiberglass along it and got it set to the exact shape of the car with bolt holes actually on the back. I've then gone ahead and, as you've seen, cut out this front this front mounting plate for the sub. I've done that out of marine ply just to give it some extra strength. And then I've simply created a nice sort of shape along the sides, trying to keep this area spare for the actual customer's storage space. I will be cutting this excess out, however, keeping some of it just to keep the rigidity on these panels so they don't vibrate or move. We're going to be keeping to Max's design and potentially putting a fascia plate on here to cover the actual sub screws and everything. It'll mould up to the actual shape of the sub a bit better, and it will mean that we can potentially put some LEDs behind it to light up the places down here. That's going to be based on time and actually how easy it is to get there. The couple of other things we've just got to worry about is how we're actually going to wire this thing. I might have to make some wires visible potentially based on where we're going, or I might simply create a small section down here to plug into from behind, as there's not really anywhere to put the wires. However, apart from that, we've fully filled in the inside, got that all done and sealed. Same as the bottom, we haven't done a mud run around it yet, just to double check for any seals, but we've done a mostly structural seal of this box. So we can just go ahead and shape it from here, get rough shape on it, and then potentially create a fascia plate to go over the top. But yeah, follow me along and show you how to do it.
hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. The team have done an absolutely beautiful job on getting this Lotus Emira all complete with its new sound system. So I'm going to just quickly run you through final spec of the system, and then we're actually going to be sitting in the car and listening to the system, seeing those final results, and it's absolutely breathtaking. Trust me, it is phenomenal in here. So in terms of the audio system, obviously the guys have gone through a lot of the work that they've gone through, as you've seen a lot of the work as well. But this vehicle is disappointing in terms of the audio system, to say the least. I don't know how many Emiras we're going to see. I don't know how many we've done already. I've lost count. And also, I literally last week booked another one in. It is phenomenal how disappointing they are. But the reason why we do so many is because of a very unique thing that we can do on cars that are coming into our sales. So wherever you are in the world, the vehicle does need to come in to our facility to have this work come in. We're not in the business of kind of sending out parts and stuff like that. This is about an installation. It's about 20% product. 80% is all about the installation level of quality, level of detail that our team go to, as you've seen in today's video. So it's very important. Like this client, they travel a long way, which we're obviously very thankful for our clients that do travel a long distance, and even abroad. I've got a car in from Belgium at the moment. This client's traveled a long distance as well. So in terms of the spec, obviously the original car comes with the KEF audio system. What that basically comprises of is a location for a tweeter on the A-pillar area, no tweeter in there. There is nothing behind there on the first editions. Then you've also got the 3-inch that is in the door. Then you've got a mid-bass driver in the rear and a sub and a small amplifier to drive the system. And that is it. So you've got no top end, no clarity, and you've got no warmth and depth of sound coming from a front end because you've only got a 3-inch in there. Also, that 3-inch is aiming practically at your leg, so it's not the greatest location for a directional sounding speaker. And the KEF audio system in home hi-fi is obviously you can position them to be directional to you, and it works incredibly well. However, in car audio, it really does not work in the application that we've got here on the car. So without further ado, the new spec of the system is a Horningsea Legend front end. So we've got a Horningsea Legend tweeter into the factory location. Then this is the biggest part of the system because we actually take the 3-inch and turn it to a 6.5-inch Horningsea Legend mid-bass on this occasion. What that basically means is the fact that we have got a huge difference in size of speaker, adding a lot more depth of sound, a lot more warmth of sound coming to the front end of the car. But the cool thing is it's actually using the original KEF grille. So the cosmetics, the inside of the car look identical, but we're going from a 3 to a 6.5 and also adding a tweeter where there wasn't one before. The next thing is we've added in the Audison Voce coaxials, which are incredible speakers. These are the new Audison Voce 2s. They are lined up in the rear. That is a tweeter built into the mid-bass driver, but also we're running this all fully actively. So on these new Voce 2s, we can run them independently from the amplifier. So we've got each individual channel running a fully active system. Then the real piece of artwork, we've got the Hertz shallow mounted 10-inch sub. This is really special and probably one of my favorite designs on one we've done of these so far. We've actually introduced the Lotus logo into the center of the sub, so it just looks really smart. We've had a little bit of color with the yellow in there. We've retrimmed it in Alcantara and black carpet just to blend in with the rest of the car and also at the back shelf area. But we've also gone through the design with the client because what our client was also after is retaining some space on that rear shelf area. So we've actually designed the system to have the 2 amplifiers, which are out of the Audison Forza range, the 12 and the 1, down onto the left-hand side into the factory locations with our custom bracketry. And also what we've done is left a little bit of storage space on either side, and it actually still allows for the netting if you want that in there to sit across. Personally, I wouldn't bother, but if you do want it on there, it clicks in to the original locations and you've got the the netting that can sit across. But that sub looks absolutely phenomenal. Standing from here, seeing it now, it looks phenomenal. It's just absolutely stunning. It's actually still very discreet because it's quite dark behind there in that area, but the difference that makes is absolutely huge. The depth, it's a shallow mounted Horningsea Pro 10-inch sub, but that is absolutely rocks in this car. Obviously a very small cabin, but the sound that that sub makes is just phenomenal. It's the right kind of size to what kind of blends in with the rest of the system and size cabin. We use this a lot on performance cars and hypercars and supercars that we do. It's very, very, very common sub that we use because of the quality of what it is. The space isn't too much in terms of box volume, which also keeps the overall size of the whole area that we're covering down. And we've also got a sub-level controller. This not only does sub-level control, but we've actually gone through with our client different options. We've preset that as yellow as the front color, but we've got a little sub controller that will sit actually into the housing at the top near your lights area. That's actually really cool because that allows sub-level control and different equalization, so driver focus, central focus, and loads more as well. So there's loads of functionality that controller adds, and it looks quite smart in that location, but we do have other options that we go through with our clients through our little group chat that we go through. So, I mean, overall, another Lotus Emira. There's loads of content on other mirrors we've done, and actually quite nice to have different specs. So if you're looking into having us work on your vehicle, feel free, just search for Emira on our YouTube channel and you will find loads and loads of videos on different ones we've done, and also a comparison video between KEF and the Audison and Hertz system that we do. Overall, a phenomenal bit of kit, phenomenal car, phenomenal sound. Now let's time to experience it. Let's jump in to the listening part. So this is the moment you have all been waiting for, the final result of the system. So obviously sat inside the vehicle, we've talked you through kind of spec, the team have gone through the install, and they've done an absolutely fantastic job. The level of detail that the team go to when doing any vehicle, the initial checks, going through post checks, it all comes in to making a fantastic client experience. But obviously we've gone through pretty much everything so far, so I just want to play a couple of tracks for you. You can hear how this system sounds. Obviously we've got my little friend right sat in the driver's seat. The reason is because part of the DRC settings here, I've got this currently set as to driver focus with a certain EQ set. So I'm going to play a couple of tracks just through the factory system using factory controls. You can use like steering wheel controls or just the main volume knob here, and you guys will be able to hear how incredible this system sounds.
What needs to be done until the race is won? Go the extra
That's crazy. I'm hoping, even with this good mic, I hope that doesn't distort there, but
Girl, I realize all I need is you. I can never get enough. Say she on her way down, yeah. Always down to have a good time. What they gonna say now?
that's without the sub on now. And then the sub on. I mean, I've got it on about 3/4 now. It's probably whereabouts I'll have it in this car.
You tell him he's all you see. Tell him you got his keys, cause you thought he needed them. But he's not coming back again. So he's gone, leaving then. You won't see him again. It was convenient, but you won't be staying friends. And you know that, sweetie, you know that. Think you knew it before.
Is it a stream? The ocean called for you and me. Still, I'm in this game, but without my closest friend. What has happened? What are we fighting for? Now we can't go back and we can't move on. No point to pretend anymore. Better not judge. I'm not keeping score. All I did was wait for the shit you made. I never meant to start a war. It was only a matter of timing. I never needed you around it, but we keep running around.
That is literally incredible. I probably got a little bit carried away there, just enjoying that. But honestly, that is that depth coming into from a custom built box in this size cabin just absolutely rocks. And not only is this system breathtaking in terms of sound, the way it looks. Obviously a stock look front end here. Obviously you've got the DRC controller color coded to yellow there, but the fact that you've got the original Kef grills here but with a 6.5 inch mid bass now, the rear speakers with the 6.5 inch coaxials in there, but this sub looks incredible. The way we've added in the Lotus logo, resin printed that into a replacement badge for the Hertz logo, just embodies the OEM Plus design of the system, in keeping with what our client was after, and keeping a little bit of space behind there, still retaining the things like the net. There's just so much that's gone into a system, and how bespoke it is really makes me incredibly proud, and how this system now absolutely rocks. So I'm over the moon with the finished results. Another Emira complete. So once you have watched some of our content on Emiras, and if you own one, you'll know exactly where to come, because this is the Cambridge Car Audio way. I'll see you on the next one.